1031 LLC is requesting architectural approval in order to install commercial sunshades over an existing patio for property located at 11121 Southern Boulevard. Do I have an applicant present? All right, would you like to make your way to the podium? Mitty, pass it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As the applicant approaches the podium, can you state your name for the commission, please?
Yes, my name is Holly Mauser.
And this is a quasi-judicial hearing, so I need to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand, other one? Thank you, and I'll swear in staff at the same time. Do you all swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, and I'll turn back to the commission for any ex parte disclosures on this item.
No.
Thank you.
Josie, you have the floor.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, Commissioners. Application 25-112 AAR. The applicant is requesting architectural approval in order to install gray sunshades over the existing outdoor patio. This is intended for World of Beer. The property is located at 11121 Southern Boulevard. This slide illustrates the proposed sunshades on the south elevations of the building, highlighted in red on the screen. This slide illustrates the sunshades at the property. Staff is recommending approval of application number 25-112 AAR as submitted. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie. Do you have a presentation for us, ma'am?
I do not, no.
None's needed. It's just we always give you the opportunity to present something if needed.
Thank you.
All right. Do I have any commissioner comments on this? No? Do I have any public comment on this matter? Anything online, Alicia?
No.
All right. Close the floor for public comment. Do I have a motion on this item?
Approval application 25-112 AAR.
A motion to approve by Commissioner McKellen. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Leland. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
Our next item for discussion is going to be application number 25-109 AAR, Jabrowski Pizza Signage. The applicant, Signorama, on behalf of Andrade Associated Limited Partnership, is requesting architectural approval in order to install 2 wall signs and 1 monument sign for property located at 1301 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. Do I have the applicant present? Could you please make your way up to the podium? Pass it over to you, Mitty.
Thank you. Sir, when you get there, can you give your name to the commission, please?
Douglas Ensinger?
Thank you. This is the same thing, a quasi-judicial item. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, and I'll turn back to the commission for any ex parte disclosures on this item.
No.
Thank you.
All right, Josie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Application 25-109 AAR. The applicant is requesting architectural approval in order to install 2 wall signs and 1 double-sided monument sign. The property is located at 1301 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. The proposed signage is intended for Jabrowski's Pizza, which is a newly constructed restaurant in the village. This slide illustrates the proposed sign on the east building facade, which is the main facade facing Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. This slide illustrates the proposed sign on the north building facade. This slide illustrates the existing and proposed monument sign, the existing to the left side of your screen, the proposed to the right side of your screen. Staff is recommending approval of application number 25-109 AAR as submitted. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie. Sir, do you have a presentation for us?
No.
No? All right. Okay, do I have any commissioner comments on this? Okay. Commissioner Alba?
None.
Oh, no, none? Okay. All right, do I have any public comments? Nothing online, Alicia?
Nope.
Close it for public comment. Do I have a motion on this item?
I'll make a motion to approve application number 25-109 AAR.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Deary, second by Commissioner McKellen. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Okay, next item, we have application number 2510 AAR, Euroland Facade. Do we have an applicant present? Okay, please make your way to the podium. Euroland Food LLC, on behalf of 511 SR7 owner LLC, is requesting architectural approval in order to modify the existing building facade with installation of new storefront windows and a new entrance, and install new signage for a property located at 511 North State Road 7. Mitty, pass over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Your name for the record, ma'am?
Anastasia Pushchina.
Thank you. This is also quasi-judicial. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, and I'll turn back to the commission for any ex parte disclosures on this item.
No. All right, Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Application 25-103AAR. The applicant is requesting architectural approval in order to modify the existing building facade with the installation of new storefront windows, a new entrance door, and new wall signage. The property is located at 511 North State Road 7. And the application is intended for Euroland. The slide illustrates the location of the affected unit in the building, highlighted on your screen. This slide illustrates the existing building facade currently. This slide illustrates the proposed modifications to the building facade and proposed wall signs. The proposed modifications include the main entry door, newly added storefront windows, and lastly, the proposed 3 new wall signs with details shown here on the slide. Staff is recommending approval of application number 25-103AAR as submitted. This concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you, Joseph. Ma'am, would you have a presentation for us? No. No? Okay. Do I have any commissioner comments on this item? No. Do we have any public comments? Anything online, Alicia?
No.
I close the floor for public comment. Do I have a motion on this item?
I'll make a motion to approve 25-103AAR.
To approve by Commissioner Alba. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Vice Chair Deary. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations, ma'am. Next item for discussion is application number 25-114AAR, CubeSmart Belvedere Paint. The applicant, Go Permit, on behalf of CubeSmart LPPTA-CS413, is requesting architectural approval in order to repaint walls, trims doors, swing, and roll up on buildings A through D, building A roof, and entrance and exit fencing and gates for property located at 8970 Belvedere Road. Mitty, pass it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Your name for the record, ma'am?
Jennifer Ronneberger?
Thank you. Also quasi-judicial. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, and I'll turn back to the commission for any ex parte disclosures on this item.
No.
Thank you.
All right, Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Application 25-114AAR. The applicant is requesting architectural approval in order to repaint the walls, trim, doors, swing and roll up on buildings A through D, building A roofs, and entrance, exits, fencing, and gates. The proposed repaint is intended for CubeSmart, self-storage facility located at 8970 Belvedere Road. This slide illustrates the existing conditions of the property and the existing paint. This slide illustrates the proposed paint scheme, which includes PPG 1048-1 Lawrence Lates for the upper body of the building, PPG 1001-4 Flagstone for the belly band of the building, and PPG 1001-6 Knights Armor for the lower body. The awnings, fascia, doors, and roofs will be CubeSmart red. This is another view of the rear of the buildings, some of their storage space. Staff is recommending approval of application number 25-114AAR as submitted. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Joseph. Do you have a presentation for us, ma'am?
I just would like to say something, if that's okay.
Sure, that's fine.
Staff's report was detailed and correct, so thank you, Josu. So I just want to say that we're simply looking to update and design the location with our corporate branding, style, and color. CubeSmart has been at this location since 2015, so the update for the property is definitely necessary, and that's it. I'm just here to answer anything, questions you may have.
All right, thank you. Do we have any commissioner comments? No? I do have to say, like, I like the color scheme. It definitely pops. Definitely can see from the road.
It's
So,
definitely overdue.
yes.
That's for sure. Yep. Thank
All
you.
right. Do I have any public comments? Nothing online, Alicia? All right. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve application number 25-114 AAR.
All right. Motion to approve by Commissioner Leland. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Alba. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm next, so I'm just going to stay here if that's okay.
That's fine. All right, so our next application is going to be number 25-00066 SVAR Nissan Signage. The applicant, Go Permit, on behalf of TT of North Royal Palm, Inc., is requesting a sign variance for the following. A variance from Section 20-95A to allow a total of 4 wall signs on the building where Village Code limits to 3 wall signs. A variance, 1 wall sign, and 2, a variance from Section 20-95E to allow a 110.22 square foot cabinet sign where Village Code permits 10 square feet, a variance of 100.22 square feet for a property located at 9405 Southern Boulevard. Pass it over to you, Minnie.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you state your name again for the record? Thank you. And I'm going to swear you in on this application just because it's a separate application. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And I'll turn back to the commission for any ex parte disclosures on this item.
None.
Thank you.
Josu?
Mr. Chair, application 25066 SVAR. The applicant is requesting sign variances from Village Code of Ordinances, Section 20-95E, to allow for a larger cabinet sign of 110.22 square feet, where Village Code limits a maximum of 10 square feet, a variance of 100.22 square foot, and a variance from Code Section 20-95A to allow for 1 additional wall sign on the front south facade of the building for a total of 4 wall signs where Village Code limits to a maximum of 3 wall signs. The property is located at 9405 Southern Boulevard. Village Code Section 26-32F6 allow the Village Council to grant variances to the code when special conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, whether the circumstances do not result from the actions of the applicant, whether the variance requested will not confer on the applicant any special privilege. A literal interpretation of the provisions of this division will deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties. That the variance granted is the minimum variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, building, or structure. Whether the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general intent and purpose of this division. Whether the variance will not be injurious to the area involved or detrimental to the public welfare. A brief history on this. Nissan, the subject property, received a variance to allow for larger cabinet signs, which is our logo. Previously, the variance order for that was VC-08-04, which allowed them for 29.16 square foot cabinet sign. However, I do want the board to know that granting of the previous variance does not set a precedent. This current request should be reviewed and evaluated anew against the variance criteria mentioned here. This slide illustrates the proposed location where the 2 signs will be. A is the cabinet sign, which is the Nissan logo, and B, which is a sign where their service center is for exit. The applicant contends that the dealership is located on a high-traffic arterial corridor, Southern Boulevard, and operates under strict national brand standards. The Nissan tablet logo represents a required corporate identity element that is separate from textual signage. Unlike typical single-tenant buildings, automobile dealerships rely heavily on logo recognition due to the nature of brand-specific customers targeting. These conditions are unique to auto dealerships and do not apply to general commercial uses in the same zoning district, end quote. application number 25-066 VAR, and variance order VC-25-02 will proceed with Village Council along with recommendations made by the Planning and Zoning Commissioners at this meeting for final action. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Josu. Do you have a presentation for this, ma'am? Or any comments?
Yep, I just have a couple comments, if that's okay. Again, same thing. Staff's report is detailed and correct, which makes it so much easier for us, by the way. So I just want to say that Nissan has done renovations to the building and that we're just bringing the new updated corporate branding standards to this location. So everybody knows the main ID Nissan logo, it's imperative to this location and their branding. This is what they're rolling out all across the country. They have currently these requirements that we're asking for in Delray, Green Acres, and Riviera Beach. So you guys have probably seen what we're asking for already. And that the second sign is the small directional sign. It's just what that is. It is just a small directional sign. There's 3 entrances to the driveway, the drive aisle. 2 of them were allowed by code. 1 of them wasn't. That's what that's for. So that's it, and I'm here to answer any questions you have, but I'd like to have a conversation if you'd like.
Do you have any commissioner comments on this?
Okay, so they allow 3 right now. They're asking for a 4th one.
Correct.
Okay, I apologize. The acoustics, I can't hear everything you're saying clearly.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So if I repeat myself, something you said. Okay, so the main sign will still face Southern Boulevard,
The main sign will face Southern
In
Boulevard,
a-
correct?
southern direction.
The
There'll be
southern
nothing
direction.
facing west, correct?
No, everything is on the front facade of the building.
So they'll be able to see it from Southern Boulevard as they're
Correct.
traveling?
Southern Boulevard, yes.
Okay, and it's necessary to have it in that location? Because the other dealerships, their signage is right in front of the dealers. And
Right in front of what? I'm sorry.
Right in front of the dealership. You have a Toyota and a Mazda, I believe, also there.
Right, but this is
Okay,
right.
so as I'm driving along Southern, I can look over, I can see the signage. So you need a larger sign?
Well, we need it on the front of the building where it is. The way that the building was designed, that is the area for that sign. Is that what you're asking me? That's where the location of it is. We can't have it on any other area of the building. It's supposed to be on the front of the building. That is the design and intent of the sign area. Reason why, may I ask, is there a reason, is there
I'm
a
sorry?
reason, is there a reason why you're asking to have it located on a different elevation?
I'm trying to visualize this when you're
Can you
asking.
take, excuse me, can you go back to the rendering, Josu, for me, please?
So, all right. So this is an aerial view, right? This is Southern Boulevard,
Right?
and the highlighted in blue is the Nissan property.
Yes.
So the signs, this is the building. You can't see my cursor. Okay. So the building, the signs will be facing Southern Boulevard. So nothing will face west or east or north. It will be on the south facades of the building.
Excuse me, Josu, can you go to the rendering page that shows where all the signs are? No, go again. Okay, right here. This is the front of the building. This is what we're talking about. The red logo here that's on the front.
Okay,
That's the front facade of the building facing Southern Boulevard.
all right.
I have a question as well. Yes, I understand the need for the additional sign, it's mostly directional and then the branding guidelines. I do have some concerns with the variance of the 100 square feet, and I wanted to know what the branding guidelines were for the signage for it to be that, since the previous variance seems to be only been a 19-foot variance to our village code as opposed to 100.
That's because of the design of the logo that we have right now. Back in the day, it was a completely different design. So, and when Village Code also makes us do the entire area, the entire red portion of it, not just the Nissan logo and everything, it's the entire thing. So that comes out to be that size. But what was done before, this entire building has been renovated to have this sign here, what everybody else has, nationally. So it's a different design. And if we were able to just occupy or just calculate the square footage for just the logo itself, the actual Nissan with that, we would be probably around 30 square feet, probably 25, 30. So we would be within that area.
Okay. So basically, we're counting the building as the signage, essentially?
I'm sorry, we're counting the entire red area. Josu, you can tell me to be quiet, that's fine.
You can see on your screen the red, which is the logo, the red box, so that's what's been counted, as well as the circular and the text Nissan.
Okay, so we're not just talking about the Nissan logo itself.
Well, that is the logo. The red and everything inside of it is the logo.
It depends on the jurisdiction, I will be honest with you. It depends on the jurisdiction, how they calculate the sign area. 90% jurisdictions nowadays, they don't take the actual area of the sign, the entire thing. They just take the copy and the text and the logo portion, which would be the silver copy and the text that Josue's talking about. This is just a little bit different because it's the way that the village calculates the code.
Okay.
And just to clarify, Josue said it's part of the logo, but I think what he actually meant is it's part of the sign,
The sign, yes.
right? So
that's the sign.
it's not the logo, it's by code, it's either a channel letter sign or it's a cabinet sign,
Sign.
right? So that entire red part is on the sign details, that's part of the sign. So it's not like it's wall, it's actually part of the proposed sign.
Okay. And what are the brand guidelines that you wouldn't be in compliance with the site?
It's the location of it, and the design of the building was intended for that size logo to go on that facade.
No, but what is this? Is there a certain brand guideline that has to be a certain size to meet brand guidelines?
Yes, which is the size that we're proposing here because of the building that we have. It goes by the size of the building and the size of the logo. It's all proportionate, and that's why we have to go with the sign that we're asking for.
Okay.
But these are your guidelines, the guidelines that you need for a Nissan.
Nissan's
And
guidelines,
every
yes.
other location of whatever Nissans in this county has the same size, right? Same size sign?
Yes, they are. We have ones that are pretty local here, Delray, Green Acres, Riviera Beach. You guys have seen these all over the place. I know when you hear 100 square feet, it sounds massive. But if you're looking at it for the size of the building and the size of the property, it's not that large. You know, it's the way that signage works. What you think is out there, the size of it is just because of how far high it is on the building, how far set back you are. But if you look at it and say 100 square feet, it sounds like a lot, but truly when you're out there in the element, it's not. It really fits within the building, and that's what we're asking for. Just something to put our brand on the building. The size of our building is large, so we're looking for something to be in proportion to make the area look better, and that's what we're doing here.
Do I have any additional comments?
The only question I have, Josue, is this is the second request for a variance, isn't it?
Yes, because obviously the requested sign size for the cabinet sign is bigger than what it was approved for.
What happens when we get a third request?
Excuse me, may I say something? This is, when you say a second request, it's two requests on this one application. I was here about 2 months ago, but that was for the AAR. That was not for the variance portion. So that's not a separate request. That was just part of the second process. Is that what you're asking? Okay, so it's not like we're not coming back in. This is the only thing that we're going to be asking for.
And Commissioner Leland, if I may, so I think what you're referencing is Josue in his presentation referenced a prior variance that was granted.
Yeah.
But as I tell you at all of these variance hearings, whatever happens here tonight, if there's a motion to approve this, that does not set precedent in the future. So if she comes back to you next month with another variance request for a different sign, for a different variance to the village code, there would be no obligation of the commission to grant the variance because of a grant of a variance here tonight. So each variance application that is brought forward is evaluated based on the criteria in the village code. So what happens ultimately, this is a recommending body at Planning and Zoning Commission, but should the village council ultimately grant the variance that is before you tonight, if a future variance comes in, that doesn't have any bearing on the next variance application that comes in. So it doesn't lock the village into approving variances in the future. There's no precedent setting. But I think the answer to your question directly was there was a prior variance granted for a sign, I think in 2008 was the date that you read. This is another separate request for a separate sign.
Okay, and if I may say one more thing about that, that sign variance from 2008 is no longer valid right now because we took that signage that was approved by that variance, we took those down because we renovated the building. So we couldn't use that. So that is not a variance that's still in existence. That is no longer valid, and that's why we're here today.
I do have a question. So what would be the consequences if, say, this variance weren't granted and you guys weren't able to follow the brand guidelines?
We'd have a lot of trouble with the dealership, and we'd have a lot of trouble with our brand, and I don't know, I hope that we don't have to have that conversation. That's not good. They won't be able to represent Nissan the way that they're supposed to in all of their contracts and all of their agreements.
And would this potentially lead to, like, say, job loss or loss of their dealership?
Job loss, the building may, we may lose our dealership. We have to go with what the brand standards are, unfortunately.
Understood. Any more comments? No? Do I have any public comment on this? Anything online?
No, sir.
All right, close the floor for comments. Do I have a motion?
I'm going to move approval of application 25066 SVAR. I think the sign is proportionate and is fine. It's on Southern Boulevard.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner McKellen. Do I have a second? I guess we failed to have a second. Do I have another motion on the floor?
Motion.
Issue is,
Again,
Yeah.
my hesitation is I'm concerned with the variance of the 100 square feet. I understand that it's a very large building,
Yes.
but granting this, and I know it doesn't set a precedent, it's still unfair to other buildings, no matter how, our code doesn't go by how large the building is. The code goes by how large the sign is. And just granting this exception seems that we're granting something that we're not granting to other people in the village, no matter how large the building is. So that's my concern. I have no problems with the additional signs, and I don't even have a problem granting somewhat of a variance, but it just does seem like an excessive variance.
okay,
to
but
me.
when it comes, may I respond to that? Is that okay? But the thing is it's not even about the size of the building, and yes, for one, it is proportionate, okay? But the other part of it too is the red area. If you don't calculate that, that's really not sign area. The sign area is virtually just text. But it's just that we need this sign on our building, and I know when you hear, like I said, you hear 100 square feet, you're thinking that's excessive. But the whole idea of this board is to view something as you're seeing it, not to worry about precedent. You're looking at something saying that is proportionate to the building, this is a dealership, this is brand standard that you see nationally throughout the country. Like, that should be what we're looking at here.
Correct, but I also asked what the specific guidelines were, and you weren't able to give me that answer.
I'm sorry, guidelines for?
For the national brand guidelines of what the size would have to be. Is there a certain size to building ratio, or is there a certain size the signage has to be for the brand guidelines? I'm just curious what those exact needs would be.
I don't know what the exact guidelines are, but I do know that that is the sign that is proportionate to that facade, and that's what Nissan's branding is. That's how it works. It's not like you go from this size to this size. It's not, they looked at it and said, this is when we do our building, this is what our design is supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to look. This is proportionate. It fits with the area, and it makes our building what we need it to be for our branding. And it's that easy. It's not like a specific calculation or something, if that's what you're looking for. We don't have that. It's just,
So the reason I ask is because what is it to say that they're going to come back and say you're not meeting brand standards if there's not a specific guideline?
what's to say that they're not going to say that?
Correct.
Well, because this is what we're asking for, and this has already been set and confirmed with Nissan Corporate. This does meet their brand guidelines. This does meet their standard. And if you'd like to put on the approval that we can't come back for another variance for any other additional signage, we will do that.
No, we wouldn't. I don't think that would be necessary.
Okay, so I'll ask for a motion again.
Is there anything else that I can answer before we vote?
The motion on the floor failed for lack of a second, so the chair
I
is
did
soliciting. So you're willing to second? So what we would need is the maker of the motion willing to remake that motion?
I move approval of application 25066 SVAR.
A motion to approve by Commissioner McKelland and seconded by Commissioner Deary. Do I have a vote, or all in favor?
No, wait, before you make that full vote, I just got to share this with you.
Yes.
My job for 10 years was to work with dealerships from Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. I've worked with a number of Nissan dealerships. I can guarantee you in Coral Springs, the signage goes by the cities. Their signage is nothing like we have here. It's very strict. That's why I can't support this. So I'll let you know up front, so that's,
Okay, all in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
You as well?
Nay.
Nay? All right, so the
He
motion,
asked for all opposed, and Mr. Chair, can you place your vote audibly on the
I
record?
vote for, affirmative.
So you're an aye
Yes.
in favor?
Aye in
of-
favor.
All right, and then Mr. Alba, your vote is?
Against.
Okay.
So the motion, does it pass?
It
3-2?
passes 3-2.
Okay,
yes.
passes 3-2.
This evening.
Have a good one. For our next meeting, can we discuss that?
Yes, please. Thank you for flagging that. Do you want to do that or you want me to do it?
So as we are rounding out the end of the year, we are looking towards the next 2 months in terms of when our meeting naturally falls. If you look to November, it falls just a few days before Thanksgiving. And same with December, it falls just a wee bit before Christmas. So we are looking to bump both of those dates. We'll start with November. Looking at the calendar and looking what's available, it would be a different day than normal. It would be a Monday, November 17th. Looking to see if that would be possible for a quorum.
And that one, I think, is pretty well confirmed. I think you sent an email to the commission. Is that right, Alicia?
I did.
Okay, so if there's any issues, if you can let Alicia know as quickly as you can. That one is, I think, relatively locked in. The December date is a little bit more negotiable if there's an issue. But for legal ad purposes, the November jump makes the legal ads due this week, so we kind of had to get that one moving. Bless you.
For the record, I apologize, did not respond to your email, Alicia.
It's all right. It was a little silent, and I got a little worried. Yeah. So let me know if there is an issue with that. If not, we will proceed with that November 17th.
I don't have an issue.
It's a Monday. It will be the same 7 p.m. as normal, just Monday, November 17th. If we hop to December, we are looking at the 16th, which is it's a Tuesday. It is a Tuesday. Tuesday, December 16th. Again, we are hopping that a little bit. We have one nay and a lot of stairs. I'm looking at my backups. I'm looking at my alternates. Please let me know December 16th. Yay or nay, shoot me a message this week. That'd be great.
All right, so our next meeting, November 17th or 16th? 17th, November 17th. Okay, that being said, that ends.
To adjourn.
All right, motion to adjourn by Commissioner McKellen. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Deary. Meeting is adjourned. We're going to move on to our LPA. All right, Alicia, please make the roll call reflect the same as the P&Z.
Will reflect.
All right, do I have a motion for approval for the minutes for the meeting from September 23rd? A motion to approve by Commissioner Alba. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leland. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Items for discussion. The first is going to be ordinance number 1060, proposes to amend the Village Code of Ordinances at Chapter 26, Zoning, Article 3, Administration and Procedures at Section 26-40, minor amendments to previously approved site plans to add additional modifications that can be processed administratively through minor site plan modification. Josu, this is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a village-initiated zoning text amendment, ordinance number 1066 to amend Village Code of Ordinances, Chapter 26, zoning, Article 3, Administration and Procedures, Section 26-40, minor amendments to previously approved site plans to add additional modifications that can be processed administratively through minor site plan modification. Please find within your packet, we provided Section 26-40 minor amendments to previously approve site plans with the added text underlined and the deleted text crossed through. Just for your reference, I've put it on the screen here, and it was part of the packet that you guys received. Staff request or recommendation of approval be submitted to the Village Council regarding ordinance number 1060.
Okay.
This concludes my presentation. Any questions, we'll be glad to answer.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any commissioner comments on this? Any public comment? Anything online?
No, sir.
All right, do I have a motion on this item?
I move approval ordinance number 1060.
Okay, motion to approve by Commissioner McKellen. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Leland. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Josue, back to you. Actually, I got to read the next ordinance. Went too fast. The ordinance number 1063, amending Chapter 22, Subdivision of Land, Chapter 7, Bulkheads and Waterways, and Chapter 2, Administration of the Code of Ordinances at various sections to comply with recent changes to Section 177.071, Florida statutes governing the plat approval process. Mitty, pass to you.
Yes, I'll take this one. So this one is a requirement of state law now. So our process, it was a recent change in the legislature to mandate that there are no longer public hearings for preliminary plat and plat approvals. So I apologize for the length of this ordinance, but this required a pretty significant overhaul of Chapter 22. Primarily, there's a couple of other references in there just to clean up definitions and cross-references, but it's mainly a revision to Chapter 22. It's to get our code in compliance with the new state law. So we maintain as much of the existing plat process as we can. We've had to move some things from final plat up to preliminary plat, but it now also contemplates an administrative approval of both. So the application still will come through the village and go through TSR, technical staff review, have the same level of scrutiny in terms of staff review and surveyor review, most importantly, but we eliminate the public hearing process. So it's a mandate of the legislature, so unfortunately, I have to tell you, we don't really have a lot of choice in the matter, but we're basically getting our code compliant, statutorily compliant. So with that, I can answer any questions. It's in the same format as you always see these ordinances. Anything that's stricken is proposed for deletion. Anything that's double underlined is the new language. So just because you see new language in this ordinance doesn't mean it's entirely new. It's probably just moved around from one section to another. The one other important thing is this does give the village manager responsibility in terms of certifying and sort of moving these plats through the administrative approval process, because as you know now, the village council is the ultimate arbiter of plats. So we're bringing our code compliant with state law, and with that, I will stop there and answer any questions that the local planning agency has.
Any questions? No?
Just curious, if the managers, given that authority, are they able to delegate that authority? I didn't remember if I saw that. So that there's not like.
It's in every place. It's manager or designee, and I think it even contemplates me. But most of the brunt of the review is by staff at technical staff review at the TSR meetings. So it's Josue and I, and then the village surveyor who does the statutory compliance. But yes, there is language in there to address that. Good question.
All right, do I have any public comments on this item? Nothing online?
No, sir.
Close for public comments. Do I have a motion?
I will motion to approve ordinance number 1063.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Deary, second by Commissioner McKellen. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next item, ordinance number 1065, amending Chapter 26, zoning to codify the village existing reasonable accommodation process and comply with recent changes to Section 397.487 Florida statute regarding certified recovery residences. Mitty, pass it over
That's
to
a
you.
mouthful, sorry about that, but that's the statutory term that's used. So tonight's theme is you don't really have a choice in these ordinances. Yeah, what's left of it anyways. This one is actually even easier than it appears on paper, but the village already has a reasonable accommodation process, so that's the process for processing any deviations to housing because of disability. The change to the state law is specific only to the certified recovery residences, which are defined in state law. But what we decided to do is, in reviewing the village's reasonable accommodation resolution, it would be very confusing for someone to see in the code a process for reasonable accommodation for certified recovery residences and then have to go to a separate process set by resolution of the village council for any other reasonable accommodation request. So what this ordinance does is it codifies the resolution that the village council already adopted, and then it weaves in the couple of very specific things about certified recovery residences. One of them is a definition. I can point you to them. On page 2, subpart 2, there's a definition of the term certified recovery residence. Part 3 of that, subpart 3, requires a BTR, which applies to everybody. But the real meat of this, the purpose and intent, the reasonable accommodation procedure, the applicant's representatives, the assistance from the village, the no fee, the interactive process, all of that's existing process that the village has already adopted. So while this looks like we're instituting an entirely new thing, we're not. We're just putting it from resolution form into the village code, and then we're dealing with the certified recovery residences because that's the mandate of this most recent legislative session. So with that, I can answer any questions, but it's codifying existing practice, so not a big deviation at all, and this will get us into compliance with the new state law. So with that, I'll answer any of your questions.
Any commissioner comments, questions? Do I have any public comments? Nothing online?
No.
Close the floor for public comment. Do I have a motion on this item?
Move approval of ordinance number 1065.
Motion to approve by Commissioner McKellen. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Leland. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next item is going to be ordinance number 1066, amending Chapter 26, zoning at Section 26-22 to add definitions for terms medical offices and vehicle sales, new, used, and/or rental, indoor or outdoor, and revise the clinic definition. Joseph?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Obviously, this is a village-initiated text amendment. Ordinance 1066 seeks to amend the Village Code Ordinance, Chapter 26, zoning, Article 2, construction of language and definitions, Section 26-22, definitions, in order to amend the definition of clinic and to add 2 entirely new definitions for medical office and vehicle sales, new, used, and/or rental, indoor or outdoor. We did provide, as part of the packet, the language, and I'll also put it on your screen so you could see. As mentioned before, added text are underlined and the proposed deletions are stricken. So minor modifications to the existing definitions for clinic. As you can see, we underline medical and stricken a few other parts of that, and the newly definitions for medical office is entirely underlined. And this is the newly definitions for vehicle sales, new, use, and/or rental, and/or outdoor. Staff requests a recommendation of approval be submitted to Village Council of ordinance number 1066. This concludes my presentation. We'll answer any questions you have.
Any comments? I do have one, just out of curiosity. For the outdoor vehicle sales, is there a reason why they have to be facing south?
Facing southern?
Yes,
South.
southern.
So currently, if you look at the village, most of our major dealerships are along Southern Boulevard, and this is our major arterial road. So we realize there are back roads to that, and we want to make sure that if you are coming in, you are facing the existing major arterial road southern. So just protecting the visibility if you were to come of the back local roads. So.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Just curious. Do we have any public comment on this? Nothing online?
No, sir.
Comments? Do we have a motion on this item?
Approve ordinance number 1066.
Commissioner Derry, seconded by Commissioner McKellen. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. So I believe we have the next meeting kind of figured out. That'd be on November 17th. So do I have a motion to adjourn the LPA?
So,
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
So a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Alba, seconded by Commissioner McKellen. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's go home, guys.
Have a good night.